The Christian Dominion fleet materialized at the edge of Earth's solar system like a swarm of metallic locusts, their holes gleaming in the distant sunlight. 200 warships, each the size of a city block, arranged themselves in perfect military formation, a wall of force meant to terrify any species into immediate capitulation. Commander Zelker stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Devouring Truth, 6. Clawed hands clasped behind his armored back, his compound eyes reflected the small blue world in the distance, Earth. The humans called it a backwater planet, a species barely crawling toward the stars. Open all channels, Zelker commanded, his voice resonating through the bridge like grinding stone. Let these primitives hear the voice of their new masters. The transmission burst forth on every frequency, overwhelming Earth satellites, radios, and communication networks. Humans of Earth, I am Commander Zelker of the Christian Dominion. Your planet lies in the path of our expansion. You have one planetary rotation to surrender your governments, your resources, and your compliance. Resist, and your cities will burn. Comply, and you will serve the Dominion with your lives. This is your only warning. The bridge crew waited. Standard procedure dictated that primitive species would flood the channels with panic responses, pleas for mercy, desperate negotiations, threats from blustering military leaders who didn't understand their own obsolescence. But from Earth came nothing. Silence. Complete, absolute, unnerving silence. Zelker's mandibles twitched. Check the communication arrays. All systems functioning perfectly. Commander, his communications officer, reported the transmission reached their entire planet. They definitely received it. Then why aren't they responding? No one had an answer. 2:30 m beneath Cheyenne Mountain, Admiral Kira Ara stood with her arms folded, watching the alien transmission replay on the holographic display. The command center hummed with controlled activity. Officers at their stations, data streaming across dozens of screens, the pulse of humanity's defense network beating steadily in the darkness. Should we respond, Admiral Captain? Torres asked. Aravas didn't move. Her dark eyes remained fixed on the alien commander's face, studying every detail. No, ma'am, they're waiting for. Let them wait. Aravas turned to face her senior staff. 80 years ago, we detected the first signs of faster-than-light travel beyond our solar system. For 8 decades. We've watched, we've listened, we've learned their languages, studied their tactics, and mapped their territories. Do you know what we discovered? The room remained silent. They all knew, but they wanted to hear her say it. Every species that has achieved interstellar travel follows the same pattern. They announce themselves loudly. They make demands. They expect immediate responses because they've grown accustomed to fear. She walked slowly around the holographic display showing the Christian fleet. But we are not like the species they've conquered before. We learned patience from predators. We learned silence from hunters, and we learned preparation from every war we've ever fought with ourselves. Eras stopped in front of the main display. Project Sentinel was created for this exact moment. We don't respond to threats, we answer them. Activate Protocol Black Sky, she commanded quietly. Let's show them what humanity does with 80 years of preparation. Throughout the solar system, hidden systems began to wake in the asteroid belt, among the rocks and ice. Weapons platform shit. Their camouflage. Near Jupiter's moons, entire fleets of warships disengage their stealth systems, not to reveal themselves, but to reposition. On the dark side of Luna, rail gun. Batteries calibrated their targeting solutions, and Earth remained silent. 3 hours after his transmission, Zelker's patience cracked. Launch scout ships, I want eyes on their major population centers. If they won't talk, we'll show them what. Ignoring the Dominion costs. 6 scout vessels detached from the fleet, their engines blazing as they accelerated toward Earth, fast, heavily armored reconnaissance craft, each capable of leveling a city block with a single weapons discharge. They reached the orbit of Mars in 14 minutes, then one by one they vanished. Commander, the sensor officer's voice carried an edge of panic. Scout 3 just disappeared from tracking, defined. Disappeared. One moment it was there, the next. Nothing. No explosion, no debris field. No energy signature. It's just gone. Zelker leaned forward. The others, Scout 5 is gone now. Scout 2, Commander, we're losing them and we can't see what. The officer's voice died. All scouts offline, total loss. The darkness between Mars and Earth, the Wraith-class interceptors glided like sharks through deep water. No heat signatures. No electromagnetic emissions. Holes coated in adaptive metamaterials that bent light and sensor waves around them, rendering them invisible to every scanning technology the Kryans possessed. Each Wraith positioned itself behind a Krythian scout, matching velocity perfectly. Their weapons, quantum disruption pulses that simply erased matter from existence, fired for less than a microcond. The scout ships didn't explode. They didn't burn, they simply ceased to exist, their atoms scattered across space in patterns too diffused to detect, and the Wraiths vanished again into the dark, silent and unseen. Aboard the devouring truth, Zelker stared at the empty tactical display. 6 scouts gone, nothing on sensors. No evidence of weapons fire, no debris. What are we dealing with? He whispered. 4, the Christian fleet held position for 6 more hours, scanning, probing, trying to understand what had happened. To their scouts, every sensor sweep of Earth's orbit came back negative. No defensive satellites. No weapons platforms. No ships, yet 6 scouts were gone. Commander, the tactical officer said carefully, I recommend we demonstrate force, send a battle group to their moon. Show them we can reach their doorstep. Zelker considered this. Aggressive posturing had worked on 43 worlds. Perhaps humans simply needed a more visceral demonstration. Battle group. Advance to lunar orbit, full power to shields, active scanning, if anything, and I mean anything, shows up on sensors, you are authorized to fire at will. 30 warships broke formation, engines flaring bright as they accelerated toward Luna. They crossed Earth's orbital path, and then nothing. Battle group tone, report Zelker commanded. Static. Talon actual respond immediately. More static, but not interference. Not jamming, just nothing, as if the ships had entered a space where communication simply didn't work. A dead zone. The sensor officer's voice trembled. Commander, we still have visual on battle group. They're still accelerating toward Luna, but we've lost all telemetry. No data feeds, no communications, no IFFF transponders. It's like they're ghosts. Zelker watched on the main screen as 30 of his warships, now completely silent, continued their approach to Earth's moon. They looked normal, their engines glowed, their formation held, but they weren't responding. All ships full reverse. Zelka roared, emergency recall of all forward units. The battle group began to slow, their trajectories shifting as they received the recall order through tight beam laser communication. But for 17 minutes they had been completely cut off, flying blind through space that humans had somehow claimed. When the ships finally rejoined the fleet, their captains were shaken. They reported instruments going haywire, sensors reading contradictory data, and an overwhelming sense that they were being watched by something they couldn't see. Zelka realized with growing horror that humanity hadn't been silent out of fear. They'd been silent because they were in complete control. 18 hours after the Christian fleet arrival, Earth finally answered. Admiral Araz stood before the communication console, every camera in the command center focused on her. She wore no formal uniform, no medals, just a simple black jacket. Her expression was calm, almost serene. Commander Zelker, she said softly, this is Admiral Kira Araz of Earth Defense Command. You entered our solar system and made demands. You assumed we were weak. You assumed we were unprepared. You were wrong on both counts. She gestured and the transmission split to show a tactical display for your consideration. Across the solar system, 500 human warships simultaneously disengaged their stealth systems around Earth, near Luna, orbiting Mars, hidden in the asteroid belt, stationed near Jupiter. Everywhere the Christians looked, human vessels appeared like stars blinking into existence. But it wasn't just ships. Every asteroid, every moon, every space station revealed weapons batteries. Luna's entire dark side lit up with targeting solutions. The asteroid belt itself became a minefield of hidden platforms. Even Earth satellites, dismissed as primitive, revealed themselves assorted weapon systems with interlocking fields of fire that left no approach vector unguarded. Humanity hadn't militarized space. They'd weaponized it. We have been watching the galaxy for 80 years. Baravas continued. We know your tactics. We know your technology. We know which systems you've conquered and how many species you've enslaved. And we prepared for the day you would come to us. Zelker stared at the tactical display, his compound eyes wide with disbelief. You wanted a response, Ara said quietly. Here it is. Leave our solar system immediately. Take your fleet and never return. Because if you choose to fight, you won't face a primitive species learning to defend itself. You'll face a species that has spent nearly a century turning its entire home system into a fortress, specifically designed to destroy anyone arrogant enough to threaten it. She leaned forward slightly. We remained silent not because we were afraid. We remained silent because we were listening, we were watching, and we were waiting for you to realize your mistake. Epilogue. The Christian Dominion fleet departed Earth's solar system 6 hours later, their formation broken, their confidence shattered. Not a single shot had been fired. Not one human vessel had even moved to intercept. Humanity had won through silence, through patience, through the terrifying demonstration that they had turned their entire home into a weapon, and the invaders had walked right into it. Without knowing, in the Cheyenne Mountain Command Center, Admiral Arazes. Watched the alien fleets retreat on the main display. Around her, officers permitted themselves small smiles, quiet celebrations. Should we pursue, Admiral Torres asked. No, Ara said. Let them go, let them tell the galaxy what happened here. She turned to face her staff. For 80 years, we prepared for this in secret. Today, we revealed ourselves not as victims, but as a power that should never be tested. The galaxy thought our silence meant weakness. She smiled, cold and certain. They learned it meant we were listening, and in the darkness of space, 500 warships and 10,000 hidden weapons platforms remained active, watching, waiting, ready for the next species, arrogant enough to mistake humanity's patience for weakness. Earth had spoken.